Good morning, fellow YouTubers. It's Belchy94 here again, just with another video. This is my server. As you can tell, it's a tiny little thing. You probably would have seen a few around this. This is a business. This computer is an old computer. It's been used in the chemist for many years. So when I got it, it was running Windows XP on it with all the chemist software. Had no internet access for some reason, so the drive was dead. And the hard drive was pretty much, the CD drive was gone, so I've replaced it. It's got came with an 80 gig drive in there, which I've still got in there, which has got the current operating system of Windows Server 2003, which is it's a 32-bit edition. And also I've got and I've put another hard drive, a 2 terabyte hard drive in there, just for general storage of files, movies, etc., so I can stream them over the network around my house. It's nothing. It's got no really fancy hardware in it, to be honest. A server's a server. You don't need to have state-of-the-art hardware. Really old PC can be recycled as a server. You could run Windows Server, Linux servers, but I like Windows Server. I find them easy to use, easy to set up, and I find it very smooth, very reliable. That's one thing I like about Windows, is they make good server operating systems. I've never really used the Linux-based one, but I have played with one. But it was only command lines, and I wasn't really good. I didn't know much about the Linux-based commands, but I'll just quickly tell you the hardware. So it's got an 80 gig drive for the general operating system and programs, 2 terabyte for fileage and storage to share around the network. So it's pretty much a file server. It was at one stage a print server. Got rid of that capability, and it's got the processor is an Intel Celeron 2 Celeron, whatever you want to call it. I always get that name mixed up. Running a 2.67 GHz processor with 956 megabyte RAM. So you're thinking, wow, that's got barely anything on it. It's a bit old. Well, it is an old machine. It's probably about 7-8 years old almost, but still running good. And it's an X. Have you ever heard of these PCs called the XPC Shuttle? It's the silver box, and because where the 2 terabyte hard drive was a floppy disk drive, so I've got rid of that, and that's where I put the new hard drive in. It doesn't look like a fancy thing, but and you can probably hear it's a bit noisy. I have to pull it apart and give it a bit of a clean. It's a bit filthy in there, but at the moment I have to have another time to do that at the moment. But you can see it's got a bright blue light. And I'll just quickly show you the system. Okay. I just give it a wiggle. Sorry, it's been asleep. So it looks a bit weird, because usually you'd see the Windows Server 2003 with a classic theme on it, but it's got the Windows XP Luna theme, so it's quite interesting. But because what happens is because it doesn't come with the themes activated, so you can go into the system and enable a theme, so you can use the Luna and etc. etc. So I'm just going to log this in and show you this computer. Just give me a sec. I'm just going to type the password in. So here's the desktop. Nothing fancy, just a Windows Server Standard 2003 desktop. It's got a few apps. And probably if you're going to use I find this antivirus pretty good to use on there. I've got Camwin antivirus. It's an open source antivirus, and it runs well with Malwarebytes and I've got Malwarebytes and the CCleaner on there. For some reason I wanted to put AVG on there. It didn't work for some reason, but I'll just go start and just show you so I'm not lying. So it's running Windows Server 2003 Enterprise Edition Service Pack 2. Here's the computer. It is an Intel, I don't know why I said that for, Intel Centrino CPU, 2.6 GHz, clocked up to 2.67 GHz, 960 megabytes of RAM. So you're thinking, why the hell would you use that amount of RAM for that computer? But at the moment, it's doing all I need to it at the moment. Sometimes it's a bit slow on boot up and stuff, but once it warms up, it's pretty responsive. But I am going to in the future put more RAM in it. And you're thinking, why haven't I upgraded to a newer server operating system? But when Windows XP dropped support in April, the 8th of April, about 2 months ago. The reason why is Windows Server 2003 is still on support until 15th of July 2015, so you pretty much got a bit over a year left. So if you still want an operating system with that XP feel that's supportive, you can probably use this as a desktop OS. Because it's pretty much Windows 2000. It's got that Windows 2000 feel, but just with the XP features added in. So it's completely built on Windows 2000. So if you're a big Windows XP fan, but you're against Windows 2000, you just got to thank Windows 2000 for doing this. And the stuff up of Windows Millennium Edition, which I haven't really used, so I can't say if it's a good or bad, or terrible or good operating system. I'll just go into. I don't know where I'm going. I'll just go into. Just so make this better for you to see. So we're just going to go into manage your server. So I'll just show you what capabilities I've got on. So every time you set up your computer, this will pop up saying managing your roles and stuff like that. So you just so at the moment, see, it's telling me it's got a file server running. So you just click in. It's pretty easy to use because you just got to click the prompts and follow the prompts. So you can set up Active Directory, print services, different a web server. You can pretty much do what you want to do depending on what you want to use your server for. But for me, I just use it for basic web browsing. I probably didn't need to put Windows, the Enterprise Edition on it, but that's all I could get at the time. And use it for my email client, which I use Thunderbird, which is made by Firefox. I find it's a good email client, pretty reliable, and there's nothing too much about it because it's. Well, I'll show you. So if you go into properties, you'll see how it says XP theme, and you got Windows Classic, you got my current theme and all that, and you just go to settings, not settings, appearance, sorry, and you can change to the look of that. But that's just the look around my server that I've made. Nothing too tense. I'll just show you the two drives while we're here too. So I'll just go into my computer. So this is the normal drive. So this has got about 80 gigs on there, which at the moment its capacity is 74.5. So it's around about 80 gigs. File system's NTFS, so the file system that came when Windows 2000 came out. So that's what sort of changed Windows. The history of Windows was Windows 2000. Here's the other drive, which you'll notice when you get the file server thing. Do you notice how there's with the other? If I just focus it in a bit, I'll move that mouse pointer for you. You'll notice there's a hand there, so that means it's being shared, so it gets shared around the network. So all you got to do to share a drive is you just right click, and you can just go share and security, and that's how you share. And you just click OK, and that's getting shared around the network. And so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I hope you're interested. Leave comments and what you think about the specs of the system. Nothing too fancy, but she gets the job done. Thanks for watching. Bye.